whatever they try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never try. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coupes. Oh no, I can't be number 2.
From the host of Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016, there's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 19-yard line.
180! Check right 54. Right 54. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's go!
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 25-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
Got it. Right 57. Right 57. Here we go. Shoot.
On 1st down, Reed. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Exit.
Throwing on 1st down, Reed. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Now it's Breida. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49. Niners.
That's good for a 49er first down. First and 10 at the 40.
So a first and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. Back to throw. Reed. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Bravo. Right 40, check, he's coming. Exit, go.
To throw again. Reed. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. It was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass.
That's it, baby. You go
First and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
It's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 5.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down.
Hey, Haywood. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. 53 is the mic. 53. Check. Hey, Foxtrot. Shoot.
Looking to throw. Reed going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Check 56. We ain't giving up nothing today.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On second down, a run with Breida. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Back to throw. Reed. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Looking to throw. Reed. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 73 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hunt. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the...
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Kareem Hunt, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Rock it, hit it.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started, and they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They run with Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Off play action. Reed going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Browns drive about to get started. And their last two drives both ending in touchdowns. It's gotten them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball. At least
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Following the interception, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. That's going to be caught by Samuel. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
57. Mike, 57.
On 1st and 10, Reed. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go. Hey, Zoo. Ready to go. Now.
Off the play fake. Green. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. 20, 10, touchdown, 49ers. Hollywood, Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. From the gun, Reed. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Throwing, Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check. Hey, exit.
Throwing again. Reed completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Reed looking for the end zone. And this is taken in at the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer.
Crunch time, defense. Bravo. Mike 40. Here we go. Check. 40's Mike. 40's the Mike. All day. Go.
Looking to throw. Reed. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares. Hey, Haywood.
Operating from the gun. Reed. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here we go. Shut up.
2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Off play action. Reed. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, You see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game, almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down now, it's Hunt. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Throwing to start the drive. Reed. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
You better be afraid of me. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Throwing again on second and 10. Reed. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And all the way up to the 49. A big play there for the Niners. 44 yards. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a first and 10. From the gun, Reed looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Back to throw now on second and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 13-yard line.
8, Reed. Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. He's checking correct. Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Brown there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is.
That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Browns. 54 yards. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Marcus Williams on the coverage.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. And it's caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Niners take over 1st and 10.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Reed, he's going deep for, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 39. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And they'll get this down to the 10. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
the 11-yard line.
I'm coming for you, 27. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. What's that?
And they take a knee. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was Baker Mayfield who led the way. The #1 pick in 2018. He showed why he was so coveted.
And it was interesting because you remember headed into the draft in 2018, the projections on where Baker Mayfield was going to go, it varied. But rarely did anyone suggest he would go #1 overall. And he did. Showed exactly why. It's not just how he plays. It's not just his arm and his vision. It's the leadership. It's the toughness. It's the moxie that he exhibits. And his teammates just feed off of it.
So for the Browns, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.